First of all, they're going to redo the Sean Taylor thing.
Yes.
Right?
Wow.
They announced that over the weekend.
Easiest move ever. Yeah,
I mean, literally,
goes without saying.
that thing is a 10-cent mannequin.
They can send those coat hangers back to
That's
One
TJ
of
Maxx.
the worst, one of the most embarrassing moments.
They called
is
it
that-
an installation, right? The
Yeah.
Sean Taylor installation.
Can we?
They're uninstalling the
Did
installation.
Can we talk about what we know about that?
I'm
Huh?
guessing this is from the dinner with Jason Wright.
No,
Oh. Okay.
no. That
Just talk about it. Just
all right.
go ahead.
Drab. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're about to say.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about
I'm
until
not
you
sure.
talk
Do you
about
know
it.
who was in charge of that project? Do you know who was in charge of that project?
In charge of the Sean Taylor installation.
Whoever was.
This is reportedly.
Okay.
Well, I know now they're going to get the
Allegedly.
family involved, right?
Allegedly, huh?
Now they're going to get the family involved.
Right,
That's kind of the next step.
I believe this to be true. If I'm wrong, sorry.
Okay.
I believe this to be true. That Ron's kid was in charge of that whole thing.
Oh, old Nepo baby in charge.
I believe that's
Allegedly.
to be true.
Ron Rivera's
Someone
son?
told me that. I don't know if it's daughter, son, but the family was involved in that. Because, you know,
Couldn't have been his. Didn't he have a son that was on the coaching staff?
listen,
Couldn't have been him, right?
I was told by somebody, I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
I was told by somebody that somebody in Ron's family, I don't know if it's white, somebody in Ron's family was involved in that, sort of in charge of all of that.
Nuh-uh. One of the Riveras messed something up. They did a substandard
Cakes,
job.
I should have asked him that when I saw him at Pepple in the
You should have
breakfast
asked
in the
him.
gallery breakfast spot.
I didn't
But
hear
that,
this. I didn't hear
regardless,
about that. Oh, yeah, I saw.
it's meaningless. I might even be wrong. Okay, that's what I was told.
Any opportunity
Whatever
to
it
pile
was.
on Ron, you
whatever
jump
it
at
was,
it.
I
was
didn't
embarrassing.
verify it, but I was told it by somebody that I believe. But whatever.
Whatever it was embarrassing.
I'm not a journalist. It was embarrassing.
Very
and they're going to
embarrassing.
rectify it. Okay.
Is there a timetable on that?
No, but there is a timetable on the new
Dave
stadium.
and Josh, can you share a little bit of the decision to remove the Sean Taylor Memorial and commission a new statue to be built in the future?
Yeah, I think that honoring our alumni and obviously Washington football, the glory of Washington football, 3 Super Bowls, we have a lot. But Sean Taylor is particularly important for obvious reasons. And I wanted to make sure that he had a first-class memorial, first-class exhibit. And so we've been working closely with the Taylor family and came to the decision jointly that it was probably time to look for something new. And we'll be considering that over the next season with the family.
Yeah, it's Josh Harris' follow-up. That installation, it was a big steaming pile, and it's no longer going to be in our stadium.
I mean,
which
it
has
really-
been refurbished, by the
It
way.
really is cheap, just like plasticky.
It's horrible.
brutal.
It's a piece of garbage,
It's
and they can't
brutal.
get rid of it fast enough.
Right. So we were at my house. We have a bunch of people spending a few nights with us when Cornell's in town in a couple weeks. Got some parents staying with us. So my wife is doing the inevitable. We got to get rid of stuff.
Okay.
So we're just getting rid of stuff.
Decluttering.
That Sean Taylor installation would go in the dumpster with all the other stuff
Such
that
with
I'm
the
sending to the
quickness.
dumpster. Yeah.
I'm just
I
wondering
wouldn't
what-
even send
like,
it to Goodwill. I would take it
what's
right
gonna
to the
become of it?
dumpster.
Is it just going to get incinerated? Like it's a weird
Maybe they'll put it.
collector. It's like a weird cult collector item
Do
for
you
like a
think they-
super commander's mark.
Maybe somebody would want it in their suite or something.
Maybe I don't know.
You know, I don't know.
They should just put it on eBay and just donate whatever money to a charity and see what it fetches.
Maybe I'm
Right.
going to
Put it
lend
up
some
for auction.
credence to your theory,
All right, thank you.
just that Christopher
It's not a
Rivera,
theory. Several people. I mean, whatever.
his job title was Senior Manager Special Projects. That seems like it would be a special project.
All right. Yeah.
I was told that's who was in charge of it,
Okay.
but
You know what? I believe you and your source.
Thank
Even
you.
though I don't know who your source is, but I believe you.
thank you.
I mean, it was a horrible job, but what if there was just a budget, and that's the best they could do with the budget?
I'm sure there was.
What was the budget? $15?
I don't know how much it costs. Maybe that's what Snyder said. Here's your budget.
They got
$2 grand.
They literally looked like they got some coat
And
hangers
put it right
and a
in front
jersey.
of the
Yeah.
porta potties.
And they had like some artist sculpt it with coat hangers.
Right.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
Now his daughter, man, talk about nepotism. It looks like she was the senior producer of social media for the Commanders. At least there's somebody named Courtney Rivera. I'm guessing that's his daughter.
Hey, look.
Because
If
she
you're
was
in a powerful position,
shockingly with the Carolina
if
Panthers
you're in a
before.
position to give your kids high-paying, cushy
Yeah,
jobs,
we should all be
you're
so
probably,
lucky.
You're probably going to do it, right? He was in charge of everything,
Right.
including hiring.
So, and a couple other little tidbits here, and then we'll get into the name stuff a little bit. I know everyone is important. Harris said 2030 reasonable target for the new Commander Stadium case.
Yeah.
So we talked about that last week. It feels like that's a lot further away maybe than you had anticipated. But honestly, we're almost at 2025. It ain't that far away.
They haven't even picked a site at this point.
I don't think 5 years is that far away.
I think 2030 might be an aggressive
that might
number.
be early because they don't even have an effing site
I
right
know.
now, let alone a.
How firm is that? People throw out the 2030 date for when you want it open. How firm is that in terms of when you know?
Yeah, it's a target. I think it's a realistic target. I mean, I wouldn't say that, again, like there's, there's political things that need to occur. There's land zoning, a whole lot of other things. A lot of it is not within our control. So there's no way to predict a specific date, but I think that's a reasonable target.
Right, exactly.
It's reasonable. It's a target. It could be 2032.
Now, the bigger issue that made more waves is, and I know that Valdez has some audio of this, is the whole team name thing. I know I've got a few listeners here.
This is Matt Valdez.
That are insistent that they're just waiting for the right time to bring back the name. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it would be wonderful. I think there's nothing wrong with the name, but the problem is with the advertiser pressure. It just takes one boycott and, you're back in, doo-doo city. So I just don't think it's going to happen.
No, that's
and
not
Josh reiterated some of that.
And you've made it pretty clear throughout that the name's not a priority right now. Is there any research that you have being done to see if the name is resonating with fans more than it was initially, or is that something that matters to you at all if it is growing in popularity?
It does matter. I just think that, and certainly, like we've been very clear, we can't, for obvious reasons, the old name can't come back. But right now, we're focused on things that unify the team around our football team, right? And unify the city around our football team. And so, the first objective is we got to start winning football games. And we need everyone supporting the team and not things that might, drive people apart. Secondly, obviously, we're trying to find a new home. And again, unifying the city around that is important. And so, the name is one of those things that a lot of opinions. But, I mean, I can't say, I've certainly not forgot about it. I mean, like I said, I grew up here, okay? So I understand it. And, we're going to start to do things that bring us back to our heritage, honoring our past. The gold, you saw the gold pants. Those are easy things to do. So we are doing research, and we're thinking about it. But, like, right now, we're prioritizing the things that we've talked about, and that's kind of the rationale for it.
Didn't Bruce Allen get mocked all the time for just bringing back the gold pants? He's the king of the gold pants.
Yeah, I mean, it's silly, but
People killed me all for that.
They're kind of in a difficult bind, I guess. For me, it's all the same sort of. Listen, the name's brutal. I wish they had never changed it, but it's not like I disassociate Riggins and Theismann and those guys with this team. They're still burgundy and gold, even though my wife last night said they look like the friggin' Steelers, and she wasn't wrong.
A lot of hate for those black uniforms.
I don't think
this will shock you.
You liked them.
I kind of like them.
Well, you're a Raiders guy.
I've been a Raiders guy. This is true.
I think in theory, black uniforms might work.
Yeah.
These look like the Steelers.
It's black.
Pretty similar.
Steelers have a pretty good look. If you're gonna
but it's not the Steelers. We're not the Steelers. We're the freaking
understood
Skins.
I personally
can't say commit.
I don't hate the black unis. I don't hate them.
All right. Either way, they're trying. They feel some sort of, because we've talked to Jason about this multiple times. They're definitely the organization I think feels some sort of that there is some sort of disconnect between the old, the Redskin heritage or something. And you could see they try to They try to throw the logo up places. They're trying to do stuff to. I don't think it's that big an issue. I think every Skins fan I know knows Doug Williams. I mean, that's part of this organization. The name stinks.
And
There's no doubt about it.
And a lot of those people still call them the Skins.
Yeah. I just try to, if the one person on earth is offended by Redskins, I just say Skins.
Well, let me just say this. Thank God, as they were doing the tour and showing the refurbishing of the artist formerly known as FedEx Field, they're taking you through the hallways. And thankfully, thank you, Josh Harris and company, when they have the old, photos of the Fun Bunch high-fiving or whatever, they still have the Redskins logo on the side of the helmet.
Yeah, did they say at one point they were blurring it out?
They're not obscuring history like they are in other spots on Twitter.
Yeah, it's insanity.
Internet, which is insane, which they show, sometimes they'll show old Super Bowl highlights, and you can't see the helmet. They blur out the helmet. Thank you, Josh Harris, for doing that.
All right,
Not being such a maniac.
He also talked about the search for a new team. You don't have that? I thought you had that audio. Oh, okay. So, we had dinner with Jason Wright. We talked about that a few weeks ago. And Jason's publicly said he's going to work throughout the season.
Yep.
Okay. And I think Jason just thinks it's a good time to kind of step away and move on. They're going to obviously want to replace him. I know that, some people they feel sort of way maybe about Jason. I will say this. If what he's telling us is accurate, and I have no reason to believe it's not, he's grown the ticket base tremendously. And I won't tell you what it's at, but the number he told us that it was at when he took over is shocking. Shocking how low the season ticket base was when he took over.
Right.
And at the end of the day,
how much it's grown.
And at the end of the day, that's really what his job was: grow that ticket base, grow that suite revenue.
Right.
And I think he feels very good about where they are with that. So,
saw some of the pictures of the Tunnel Club.
Yes.
$15,000 to pay for that.
It's pricey. That's a pricey
Really?
ask, and that's on top of you already have to have a suite and/or season tickets.
Yeah.
That's not all inclusive. That's just an
guys
add-on
that are super
bonus.
loaded though, they don't care. I mean,
yeah,
I don't even know if it's a tax
write-offs.
write-off. It probably is.
It probably is.
And then I retweeted the prices of what they're charging.
Yeah. Go through that. Go through that for people that didn't see
drink
that.
prices.
Spike seltzer / lemonade.
All right, so basically like a Surfside, essentially. But
Yep.
Surfside's not a seltzer,
Right.
just to be clear.
No bubbles.
But anyway.
$18.49.
19. Oh, my God.
A large premium beer, and I'm told this is a 24
Premium
ouncer, so
beer,
it's like
so like
two.
Heineken?
Sure, I don't know, but a large premium beer goes for $17.49.
All right, so that's two.
So what are they, 24 ounces?
It's pricey, but it's not.
I get bitter, but go ahead.
It's not
A regular
super
craft
outrageous.
beer, $16.99. Then a large domestic beer like a Bud Light, $16.49. A premium canned cocktail, $15.49. A Gatorade bottle.
Okay.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Not.
$7. I think.
$7.99.
Well, I almost tweeted this, but I didn't want to get into it with people.
Yeah.
I bought a
Gatorade.
Gatorade at Shell. It was $3.80, and my head exploded.
Hold on, was it a bit? Was it at least like the 24 ouncer or
It
32?
was 28 ounces, not 32, 28.
28. All
Okay,
right.
basically 3 gulps and it's gone.
Yeah, it's not great.
And now listen,
Those
I
are
was
some
paying
big gulps.
I was paying $10 at the convention center
Right.
for one. And
Yeah, but it gets you bitter when you can go into Giant or Safeway and they have
They're-
them on special for like 3 for $5.
well,
Like that gets you bitter.
it does, but you got to get them on special because the prices of
true.
everything are just going up.
So a
Agreed.
I mean,
bottle
you
of-
literally have to go into a Commander game, tailgate for a couple hours, right? And then tell yourself, I'm going to buy one drink.
Well, you gonna make it a bottle of soda because it's $6.99, or a bottle of water is $5.99.
I don't know. You said one drink.
Maybe it's too late for them to do anything about this upcoming season. I wouldn't be stunned if Harris and company follow the Arthur Blank blueprint of what they did in Atlanta and really just try to win fans back. And
I would be stunned because
I wouldn't be stunned if
this
it
would be the
happens.
time to do it, Cakes. What are they waiting for?
Yeah,
Could have done it.
maybe I'm wrong.
Here-
maybe
here's
this
the
is
thing.
where Harris looks at
Think
says, this
about
is where we're
this.
going to make a bunch of money.
Here, think about this. we talked about with people, they want to recoup some of that $6 billion that they put in.
That's a lot. It's a big investment.
They didn't buy this team for a billion, or,
right?
I mean, billion's outrageous. It's like $6 billion, right?
He probably did that when he bought the Sixers and the Devils. Yeah, probably started jacking prices.
They're not really in the business of just giving away money and not seeing a return on their investment.
Yeah. Here's how they're going to get the return.
Yeah,
when they start winning games.
Right, and the stadium
start winning games. If Jaden lives up to the hype, then people will happily pay $6 for a bottle of water if that's what they want.
Yeah.
I will say
Won't
that
be an issue.
Cakes, I had a fantasy draft last night, and you always wait for the last draft pick to take your team defense.
Yep.
Very last team on the draft board, the Commanders.
Woof.
Hold on. Every other team defense was taken? Are you in a 30-team league? What's happening?
They were the lowest ranked team.
Oh, the lowest ranked.
Yes.
Of all.
They were the lowest ranked team defense on the fantasy draft board.
Oh, you mean they weren't selected, though?
No, of course not. They were the lowest ranked.
Yeah, well, they were dead last year.
Yeah.
Who picked them?
That's what I'm saying. But you think, all right, well, we add some players.
Right.
You added some linebackers. You added a couple defensive linemen. They were still the lowest ranked team defense.
Can't fix it all in one off season.